writer, performer. For decades, he has had us mesmerized by his songs and his incredible voice. Well, tonight, he's taking those notes that he has written for the likes of Kenny Rogers, Diana Ross, and he's combining them with beautiful fragrance for us. So today, we have the biggest and best deal you will find anywhere on his 2020 launch of his Hello fragrance. So it's not just one 3.4 ounce that you're going to receive, it is two. So each one of these sells for about $50 a piece. So in the women's, it's a 3.4 ounce. You get two of them of his Eau de Parfum, which are very true to its notes, incredibly long wearing. So in the women's, just so everybody knows, we'll go over all of those notes. It is lush, it is expensive. The top notes here are pear, lemon, grapefruit. The heart is jasmine and tuberose. You also have tonka and patchouli. It smells expensive and rich because it is. So you get two. Everywhere else, you pay $50 for one 3.4 ounce. Today, you're going to receive two 3.4 ounces. So that's for our women. We didn't forget about the gentlemen in our lives. We also have for men, the Hello for Men. Not one, but two that you're going to receive. These are also 3.4 ounces. It is an eau de toilette for the men. So again, beautiful notes in this one of bergamot, bitter orange, mint. You have lavender, violet leaves. You also have vetiver, patchouli. It's gorgeous. So you receive not one, but two of those, which to me is a very manly man fragrance. So we are thrilled today to have these offers available for everyone. It's the big launch here at HSN. It's not $100 or $98. It is $49 on 3 interest-free credit card payments. So we've got a lot to get to. Sit back and relax. We are so honored to have, of course, American Idol. You've watched him since season 16 through 20. We have been starstruck by him since the 80s. Think about, you know, Hello, All Night Long, The Only One, Dancing on the Ceilings. Think about We Are the World, everything that he has done, all the philanthropic work. We'll talk about what he's done with breast cancer awareness and raising millions upon millions of dollars. So we're thrilled that he is joining us here tonight. Finally, we have the one and only Lionel Richie, who has won 4 Grammy Awards, American Music Award icon, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. 54 years you have had all of us mesmerized, and you are here live with us at HSN. Welcome, Lionel Richie. How are you?
I am doing just fine. Amy, I gotta tell you something. I didn't realize how much fun you all were having on this show. I'm sitting here just before I came on. I just bought some oatmeal and some shoes right away. So I just want you to know that it's too much fun.
Oh.
You know what? This is a real pleasure. I must tell you, because this is a passion. And of course, to be able to speak directly to the fans and the people who know all of my music, is just a treasure.
It's a treasure having you, because I feel like I've watched you from afar, and for so many years we've listened to you. You've changed the way that we think. You've changed our mood when we listen to your music, whether you're singing it or when you would write songs for other performers. And today you're changing our mood. So where do you want to start? Would you like to start, Mr. Richie, with the women's fragrance? Because to me, this is so, it just smells expensive, right? There's just something about it.
Well, I've got to tell you something so unusual, and I know we're going to go and break them down between men and women, but let me tell you what's happening. I'm getting people calling on the phone and say, okay, I know this may sound a little strange, but my husband wants to wear the women's one because he likes the fragrance. And then the lady said, well, I love the men's fragrance. So what I'm just saying to you, even though it says men and women, the whole concept is the absolute aroma, the fragrance itself is just, it's doable for both. I'm going to say this. And it's really what you choose to be the best. I wanted to make sure it was not overwhelming in fragrance, but it was compatible to anyone who wants to wear it.
Oh, you know what? I just sprayed the men's on now too. You're absolutely right.
Correct.
I mean, when you said that, I was like, oh, really? I could wear both? Oh my word, I would definitely wear both of these.
Yeah, I would not want to mess up the equation too much, but I just want to give you the feedback which has happened over the last year. I have fans calling me and say, oh my God, my husband is in love with the women's fragrance. And I'm going, well, it's okay as long as he wears it. And again, it tones itself down to where it's not that, should I say, overpowering.
Right.
And so it's something that everyone, as it goes about in your natural your natural scent, your aroma, it all tones down to be you at the end. That's the good part.
You're right. It smells a little different on everyone. And
That's exactly right.
I love that I can gift one and keep one. I think that's the beauty of it. They're all gonna come in one box here, but again, they're individually boxed inside of one larger box. So you can give both of them. You can keep one if you want to. But the notes that you chose, and let's talk about fragrance. And I know everybody's loving this. Over 500 just ordered in 2 minutes. That's how fast these are selling, because you know, your big launch happened in 2020, and I was watching behind the scenes. The energy that was brought to these fragrances is amazing, because you kind of went down memory lane. You went back to your own garden, right? And your travels, and that's how this came to be.
You know, I'm sitting there, when we started talking about fragrance, the first thing that one gentleman came to me and he said, okay, what is it that you love to smell all the time? And I said, well, that's kind of broad. He said, no, it's not. Let's go in your garden for a minute and see what you have back there. And all of a sudden, there's pots and pots of orange trees. And that's when I realized, oh, okay, I see where you're going. And there's some lemon. And then we started talking about a little bergamot, and as things went on, I realized that all the fragrances are sitting in my garden. So I said, is that possible to put this all in one bottle? He said, it's not only possible, but you can do various grades of this. In other words, it's not going to come out orange. It's going to come out a much subtler sound when you put a little bergamot with that. And so that's when I said, I could like this. I could like this a lot, because now it makes sense to me. So I went back and started with my basics, my lavenders, and started putting together things that I love to smell all the time. And of course, then the tuberose is something I put in my house every day just to get the house going, because it's the best. And then grapefruit, of course, is one of those little things you don't think about the fragrance, but yet it blends well when you start putting them together. Here I am talking now like a true perfumer, but I've been kind of educated to the fact of what's possible. And so now what I'm saying to everybody out there, it's not supposed to be a new scent. It's supposed to be familiar.
Right.
And so my whole point now is to bring things, again, just like my songs, you know, stuck on you is stuck on you, and hello is hello. But it's familiar. It's something you don't have to work that hard to sell. And in this case, I think it's going to be just subtle enough, and yet awakening to where you'll understand what I'm talking.
You know what, there's so many good points that you mentioned there. There is a familiarity to this. There's something familiar about it. You're like, wait a minute. Where am I've smelled a note like that before. Not the combination together, but it's almost, you're right, it's like you've met before. You and this fragrance, you've somehow met, I don't know where it has in a past life, but somehow you've come together. And that's what makes it, that's what makes it so harmonious.
Well, see what happens. What makes a hit record? It's supposed to sound like an old friend.
Right.
You haven't heard Hello before. It's a new song, but you know that song immediately when you hear it for the second time. You go, ah, there's that song again. Well, a fragrance is supposed to be your signature. It's supposed to be that thing that brings you back to something basic, something grounding, not something where you blow the room away. We're not trying to do that. It's supposed to be a subtlety to fragrance. And I think what I was, God knows, I've been around the world. And so there are some people, when you walk past them, you go, the whole room smells like that fragrance.
Right.
I know we've been there before, but in this case, it's supposed to be your signature. It's how it interacts with your body chemistry, and then it settles down into being you. And that's the part I love the most. And it's supposed to really give you a feeling of confidence, a feeling of elegance, and at the same time, it's supposed to be timeless. Otherwise, why are we doing this for just today and tomorrow? I'm not trying to make Christmas. I'm trying to make forever. So this is one of those forever fragrances that we can work on year after year after year.
I love what you're saying about that. You're right. You're creating something forever. You're not just this one holiday, not something that you're gonna spray now and then you're like, oh, I can't stand it a couple days later or a couple months later, right? This is something that's forever you know, and I feel my grandmother always taught me you're not fully dressed until you leave the home with your fragrance on, right? This completes you. This sets the mood, this sets the tone for your entire day. Do you know, Mr. Richie, we have welcomed in 500 new customers that have never shopped with us here at HSN who are loving that you are with us tonight.
What?
So thank you again for taking time out of your schedule. I know you're recording. I was talking with your manager earlier. I know you're getting ready to go on tour. You got a lot going on, a lot.
I've got a lot. I've got a lot going on, and I'll tell you something though. It's
okay.
Again, I will say, to be able to talk directly to my fans and to people who have always followed me, again, that's the key to the whole magic right now, is because they keep asking me over and over again, what else are you doing? Tell me what you're doing. Of course, this is one of the projects I've been working on for quite some time. Very happy about it.
You did an amazing job. And just to go over the notes again, we'll show that with everybody. For the women, and I just want to let you know, you have your choice of men or women here, but you're getting two. This right here, you can see the pink pepper, the grapefruit, and the pear, the lemon. That is so good. Then that jasmine tuberose is on fire right now. It's one of the most popular notes. The tonka, the honey, it blends. You're right, like you write a song, this is the way this comes out. It's just a beautiful notes come together. There's some familiarity. There's something very warming, but very classic about this. It smells expensive. This is a 3.4 ounce. It's not one bottle that you're going to receive. It is 2 bottles. So I have to stress that point. If you're shopping right now, you know that this fragrance, 1 bottle everywhere sells for $50. You're receiving 2 of those, and that's why almost 1,500 ordered. I want to go over and jump to the men's, because we're not forgetting our lady or our gentleman, are we? This one is a little bit, now, I love you can wear them together, but this one, to me, this is a manly man fragrance.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, and thank you. You know, it's so often when you say fragrance, the manly man will say, you know, I'll pass, you know.
Yes.
I'll just kind of make it work for myself. But here's what really happens. Ladies like to pick the fragrance for the men. And so what's so fabulous when the lady of the house walks over and says, honey, this is what you need to wear.
Right.
I promise you, for a moment, it's like, oh, I don't know. And then all of a sudden, you'll get response from all the other ladies. I know guys want to have the guys go, man, this is really great. No, when the compliment comes from other ladies and says, John, you really smell amazing today. What is that? You know, that's called a little sex appeal goes a long way.
Absolutely, absolutely, no matter what your age is. I think everybody wants to smell amazing. Everybody wants, it's a silent communicator, right? You're communicating to, you know, I'm a manly man. You're communicating classic. There's so much that we say without saying a word, right? With our fragrance. And we'll walk through the notes quickly on the men's fragrance, because I think when you said you could layer, that just shows the power of how harmonious these fragrance notes are. So we'll go ahead and walk through the men, starting off with that grapefruit. So fresh.
Very good.
Then it goes down to the bitter orange there. You have a little bit of the mint inside of that. I think that gives it that invigorating feel. Then you go down to the heart of it with the lavender. Vetiver, there's something so beautiful about vetiver. That's what gives it that kind of manly man feel to it. Then it just dries down ever so subtly to that patchouli. So again, it's also very intoxicating. This one also smells very expensive. And I have to stress, these are 3.4 ounces. So again, you're not looking at a small 1.7. These are $50 a piece and you receive 2. So as we talk about those notes, wearing them together or separately, again, it's to me, it's a strong man. As a woman, this is what I want my husband to smell like.
There you go. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And the most important part about it is, as it settles on you, again, as it settles on you, it takes on your body chemistry, which is the part I'm most concerned about, because a lot of times you don't want flash. To be a guy, I'm a guy. So you don't want flash. You don't want a lot of stuff going on. You just want a subtle elegance, a subtle sexiness. And of course, in this case, listen, I'm in the love business, and my job is to get compliments on both sides. You know, you have ladies who fall in love with the song, and you have guys who want to say the words that I write, and the two come together, and it's called forever. It's a forever mixture, where hello is what every woman wants to hear and every guy wants to hear. You follow me?
You're absolutely.
It's just one of those things. So it has to be a great marriage. And I'm not trying to be here today, gone tomorrow, and a flash. When I write songs, it's supposed to feel forever.
Oh, and you do. I just listening to you talk, We're all, again, thrilled that you're here. 4-time Grammy Award-winning, American Music Award icon. You're in the Hall of Fame. We are so delighted to have you with us because, since 1968, we have all been in shock of your performances, your songs. I mean, even when we think back to, all the songs that you've done from, Stuck on You in 1983. Hello, of course, was in 1983. All Night Long. I mean, millions of people you have made smile, you have made fall in love just by simply saying hello. And I think when we look back at that, that makes all of us feel very special. And you make us feel special tonight with all of your fragrances, which are luxe, which are intoxicating, I know you're currently touring across 8 countries. You've got 24 concerts that you're working on. So you've got a lot on your plate. So to do this has to be a passion.
Well, believe me, when I say to you, there is no such thing as downtime. So when I do have what I call spare time other than stage and studio, I still am a creator. And so there are things that I can tell you I do every day. I'm the best, probably the best critique artist in the world, because how many times have you walked in and said, oh, that fragrance would be great except, or this room would look great if they put this in it. It's always one of those things. Well, I'm one of those guys that not only do I not wear a perfume or a cologne, but I create my own. And in this case, I found that so many times you'll get into problems where I've tried the various perfumes and colognes, and I said, if it had just a little bit of this, or if it had a little bit of that, it would be so much better. And then I decided, why don't I do my own?
I love it. I love it. It just makes sense. I think about all the years, you're right, you're kind of the king of love. And everybody wants someone to say hello, whether they're a stranger or someone you know, just that simple word hello. You're opening up, right?
Hello.
You're welcoming conversation. This is what this fragrance says about you. It's saying hello to everyone without actually saying hello.
Right. And again, what you really want out of this is the moment of conversation.
Right.
So what I really want people to do is not think of it in terms of saying hello, but someone will say to you, what is that? What is that? To the point where you'll say, let me tell you what I'm wearing. Oh my God. And then it's the fact that, because they're not expecting it from Lionel Richie. They're not expecting this. And again, what really, I'll tell you a little backstory on this. We were nominated for Fragrance of the Year. And now, again, that's 5 perfumes that came out, fragrances that came out. And we're in the top 5. And I said to and by the way, this is my first attempt at this. So again, what this only gave me was more confidence to go back and there's more coming to the table. Right. But what I love the most is that first time you get a hit record and you wonder if you are a writer or if you are a singer, and the fans will come in and say, oh my God, give me another one. Give me another one. Well, this is what Hello has done for me. It has made me realize that there's other things I can create with my sensitivity other than just songs and going on stage. And that is delivering to my fans something they can really hold on to and take around in their everyday lives. I
love that. When somebody comes up to you, how fun will this be? And they come up to you and say, what fragrance are you wearing? And you say, hello. Right? How interesting. I mean, that's going to start a conversation right there. What are you wearing? Hello? Right.
It happens when I do wear it. They go, oh my God, Lana, what is that? And I go, hello. And they go, no, I know your song. I said, no, hello. Hello is the fragrance.
Hello is my fragrance, right? And today you're making it so special for all of us. So for all of our new customers who are just joining us, welcome in. Yes, it's the one and only Lionel Richie live with us here at HSN, and he is doing something that you cannot find anywhere else, just for the HSN family.
No, you won't.
And again, you don't have to buy a membership or anything like that. This is open to anyone who's watching or going to hsn.com. It is not one, it is 2 of his up for award-winning fragrance. 3.4 ounce, 3.4 ounce. It's called Hello. This is Eau de Parfum. So in the women's here, they're individually boxed, but they do come in one big box. So again, 50 and 50, it's a $100 value at $49. Or you can choose the men Hello. You were also receiving a set of 2. I think the packaging is exquisite. I know we kind of want to show the inspiration for all of our new customers. Don't forget, FlexPay is open to everybody. We take every major credit card, even Apple Pay, everything, debit cards. So if you'd like to pick up something very special this year, and like Lionel was saying, this is not, okay, just for this season and gone. This is forever. This is classic.
Yes, I mean it's really amazing how it has been accepted, not only now, but again around the world. It's happening. Who would have ever imagined? Even I
Right.
had to surprise myself at this point. This was mainly not just the launch, but it was also my experiment to see if this is really something real that people will gravitate to. And the answer is absolutely yes.
Oh, I'm glad everybody's loving this. You know, and when we're looking at all the different notes, we'll go back to where it all started in your garden. And I have to ask, it makes sense, you know, for you to start a fragrance, writing so many amazing award-winning songs and all the songs that, of course, you wrote for yourself. And we've been delighted with over years. Fragrance just seemed sense. It just made sense for you to go ahead and create a fragrance, right?
It really is very true, and I always say the great funny line is it's really true though. You know, I got people married. You know, we had dates. We went to school together. We now party all night long. Everything is happening, but I forgot to go home with you. So now,
That's right. That's true.
hello is going to go home with you. And that's the part I love the most because it's now me sharing one more part of the creativity. And because of the sensitivity, I must tell you, I'm a nut, with crazy man when it comes down to just picking things apart and making sure that it's absolutely not overbearing. And so when I put this together, it was one of those moments where I had to go, let's see if this is going to work. And of course, the answer is that's a hit record. It worked.
Oh, and we're showing you how, of course, your attention to detail, you know, in the bottle design, which can we talk about the design of this bottle? How it's like encased in gold?
So if you look, in my bar area of my house, there's where I keep all the precious alcohol. Right behind it, there's a cage. It's a cage that's in front of the glass.
Yes.
And when someone said to me, what would be your favorite design for the bottle? I said, well, that cage right there I've been in love with that for the last 20 years. Let's use that as the base. And of course, it came out even better than I imagined it because when I brought it to the team said, it's as common as your backyard and the fragrances. So that's the first launch. That's the cage that you see behind the bar is really that inspired that look right there.
I love that. It's simple, it's clean, it's classic, it's a little familiar like we were talking about.
That's what I'm saying. It's a little familiar. That's what in other words, with everything being glass and everything on the table and on the display case, where's Lionel? The cage. There it is. Okay.
Yeah, no, absolutely exquisite packaging. I do have to give everybody a heads up. I don't think this is going to make a full presentation. There is less than 1,000 for the men. So we are incredibly limited. We didn't bring in 10 or 15,000 of these. This is Lionel Richie's only show with us here for the entire holiday season, bringing us a signature classic. So if you want the men's, this will sell out. So less than 1,000 now in the men's, a little bit more than that in the ladies. We've already sold over 3,300 of these. We have almost 1,000 people trying to get through our phone lines right now to pick this up. So Lionel, you definitely have a hit with your fragrances here at HSN.
Okay, so now you didn't see this when Hello first came out, but I was running around telling everybody, oh my God, I think people like Hello. Now you have to understand something. Let me tell you the backstory of Hello.
Okay.
The backstory of Hello was, I went to my producer and he said to me, I said to him, Hello is in me you're looking for. And he said, oh my God, finish that song. And I said, that's the corniest line I've ever said in my whole life. He said, no, that's the line that everybody will say every day of their lives because they do say it every day of their lives. So in creating this, I said, let's make it every day of our lives. Let's make it something that people will hold on to. And I'm telling you, this is confirmation. Thank goodness, Amy. Thank you very much because I was sweating bullets here for a minute, not realizing what is it going to be? I mean, what are people going to think about it? But I'm telling you, I'm very proud of the product. And more importantly, I'm proud of the fact that I launched it here on this fabulous program with you selling everything. I must tell you, the oatmeal and the shoes, yeah, I'm going to get it. But hello.
Hello.
I'm going to tell
you. Hello.
Hello.
I love it. I have to go back because I just want to know a little bit. I mean, America's just dying to know a little bit more about you. I think about, you know, all the times that just growing up with you and all the different music I listen to. What inspires you? Whether it's writing a song, whether it's being creative with your fragrance, what inspires you every day? Like when you wake up, is there any affirmation? What is it that you do to get your day kind of started? What is it that creates all this creativity for you?
Well, first of all, I must tell you, it's when you start out in Tuskegee, Alabama, on a university campus, that is about as far away from Hollywood and the music business as they're ever going to get. But what I loved about growing up in the South and in Alabama was it was real, very real. People talk real talk, and they tell you what they really think. Now, if you want to get no idea of who you are at all, just go to Hollywood and they'll tell you a whole bunch of stuff that means absolutely nothing, because it's about making you feel better, but it's not the truth. Right. When you go down south and start at my southern roots, one thing I love about southern folks is they're real folks. And if they don't like it, they'll tell you, Lionel, I just don't like it, the period, you know. Well, we started out as the Commodores. I started out as a kid on the campus of Tuskegee University. And if you were any good at all, that student body would tell you, you got something. Now, that's before we had a record. Now, as time went on, the best place I could go to find out, is this record the one? It first had to come from something called simplicity. Not a whole lot of razzle dazzle. Right. So it's easy like Sunday morning. It's 3 times a lady. It's simple, truly. It's not a whole lot of fanfare. It's endless love. It's simple. And so when I started thinking about my presentation from Lionel Richie's point of view, first of all, the Commodores, that was the wildest times of our lives, but yet the songs came out simple because we were living in simple place called Alabama. And then from there, the simplicity goes on and on and on because people give me the inspiration. Everyday people give me my inspiration to do more.
That's so amazing. And yet you still inspire everyone listening to your songs. You're right. Going back to the Commodores, you're right. That was such a simple time. The songs, you're right, were simple, but they had so much meaning to them. They weren't They weren't overly fancy and all this. No, they were simple. They were relatable, right?
I mean, you don't have to worry about what does that mean. I mean, stuck on you is clear.
Wait a minute. What is he saying? What did he say? I can't understand it through the.
Yeah. What does that mean? Right. Hello, is it me you're looking for? Clear. Yes. And by the way, it becomes, well, I have people that walk up to me and say, hello, Lionel. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that, but that's normal. Hello is normal.
Exactly. And we all understand it, right? There's nothing underlining. You're like, wait a minute, does he really mean this and this kind of a lyric? No, you're right. And I think clear to the point, like I said, for millions of us, we have adored you from afar. And today we get to own you just a little bit in Hello. We get a little bit of Lionel home with us today. We're putting out Last Call on the men's. This will not make our clock. So I apologize. There's now less than 400 left in Hello for the men. So if you want to pick that up, and I want to go through those notes again, it's not one bottle of 3.4 ounces in the Eau de Toilette. It's 2. Each one of these sells for $50 a piece. You're getting both individually boxed as well as put into one box. So the packaging is exquisite. So again, about 400 of these left. So let's walk them through for everybody who just joined us. We have a lot of people who jump in and out of the show. Let's go over all the different notes, Lionel, about this, because to me, again, it sounds expensive, yet very familiar. So here we go through the men's, starting off with the bergamot. You have that beautiful bitter orange, but what makes it kind of all come together is the mint. Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead, sir.
No, you're right. The mint is the one that makes the whole thing come together. Absolutely. And then at the heart of this, the lavender. I mean, the lavender comes in and the violet just, I'm telling you, brings it all together. And then the cashmere, I'm just going to tell you, it just works so well. The camera, excuse me, I'm sorry. And then, of course, again, there's more to all of this because it's layered, Amy. And so people think sometimes it's that one fragrance. It's layered.
It does, and I think that's why when you say this is like a man's fragrance, it's not, you know, some men's fragrance, it smells like pine. My husband has this one fragrance he puts on, I cannot stand it because I feel like we're walking in a Christmas tree, right? There's too much pine, or there's too much patchouli, there's too musky, right?
Right.
This is not that. I mean, you could actually, women, you could layer these two if you wanted to, but yet I wouldn't look at this and say this is feminine, but it's not piney, it's not patchouli, it's not musky, it's just, it's clean, it's a man's man. I mean, it's a beautiful fragrance.
You just said exactly the words that make me nervous. When you say musk, all of a sudden I start getting nervous because I'm realizing, okay, you don't want to walk in the room and smell like every guy.
I agree.
Because that's a guy's thing. And I kept saying, okay, what's going to make you pop out as a guy? What's going to make it different for you? And at the same time, not overwhelming. And this is, I'm telling you, I fought for hours on how much of this, how much musk do you want to have in this thing? Because every men's fragrance has, I think, a lot too much of that.
I agree. I completely agree, sir. This will sell out. There's now about 100 left. So if you want the men's, we're gonna be taking that away. Last call, remember it's 2 3.4 ounces of the Eau de Toilette. So I wanna point that out. Individually boxed, and then it also comes in this beautiful box. So they'll take the smaller boxes and put them in here, or you can separate it. So almost 5,000 ordered. We have thousands trying to get through right now on our phone lines. You can go to hsn.com to place your order. See those little squirrely things right there on the bottom of your screen? That's called a QR code. So if you have your cell phone by you, the best thing is go to your camera, take a picture of that or scan that. It'll take you to the front of the line before you miss out on the men's. Now I do
Naomi,
yes, sir.
Naomi, let me interject something here, because I'm going to tell you, I see what's happening right now. The ladies have gotten really smart and have figured out now, what am I going to give my guy for Christmas? I know what this is happening. I know what's going on. Now, guys, let me give you a little secret, okay? If you really want to make a big impression, get the lady the perfume. The lady's perfume. I'm telling you, and then the two of you, as time goes on, you'll mix and match. I'm telling you how it works, because they're being very smart up front. Don't get caught looking sideways, okay, guys? I'm trying to help you.
And a lot of guys can take any advice from Lionel Richie as they can. So I do want to let you know the men's did completely sell out. Stay in the ordering process if you are picking it up. I know we're going to take a quick little break before we go over the women's fragrance. There is now 1,400 left. There are 1,000 people ordering. So this will sell out early. Don't let this pass you by. I mean, the fragrance is truly amazing. We'll go over the notes for the women. We're getting everybody ready for the holidays. Don't forget, 18 shopping days left. We'll be right back after this.
You love to gift. We've got you covered during HSN's Gift List Weekend. 48 hours of amazing gifts in cozy clothing, beauty, electronics, and more. HSN's Gift List Weekend starts Saturday at midnight.
And you can find everything you need for the holidays right here on HSN, like these beautiful holiday.
This year.
It was nothing.
Want to find your Mary? Shop HSN. Shop with confidence at HSN. Our Under the Tree guarantee means you get your gifts before Christmas at no extra charge. Just order any item on HSN or any of thousands more at hsn.com before noon on December 18th. Santa has elves, you have us.
Food is my obsession.
Cooking is my life.
And with hsn.com, it's never been easier to turn a boring dish into BAM. Discover online cooking demonstrations to help you spice it up in the kitchen.
I'll teach you how to become a better chef with my key cooking tools.
And how to create incredible, tasty meals full of flavor.
Who wouldn't love you for that?
Explore, watch, and shop all of our top chefs at hsn.com.
Bam! Sorry, Emerald.
Like a great song, it's a search for the right set of notes. That journey has brought me back home, where the notes have been waiting this whole time. The accent of lavender along the path, the notes of bergamot hanging in the garden. Together they form this beautiful symphony.
The icon is joining us live here at HSN. My name is Amy Morrison. The one and only Lionel Richie is here with us, bringing his amazing fragrance called Hello. We just sold out of the men's fragrance. We have sold over 6,000 of the fragrances. We are down to about, 5,500. There are 1,100 left. That's all we have. And ladies, it's 3.4 ounces Eau de Parfum, long-wearing, gorgeous notes. We're gonna go over all of those notes. And again, it's 3.4 ounces. They're $50 a bottle. You get them individually wrapped, and then it comes in one larger box. It's the most beautiful gift to give. So let's talk about these notes for the women, because what was the one thing or the one emotion you wanted to capture when women wear your fragrance?
You know what? It's all about love. It's all about romance. It's all about bringing the character of the woman to light. Again, everyone wants to shine.
Yes.
It's everyone wants to be sensual. And for ladies, and I should just say mostly, what they have going is right now their love for being admired, being complimented. And so when you start thinking about what do you really want to hear from somebody? What is that you're wearing? Oh my God, you look fabulous. What is that you're wearing? Oh my God, you look fabulous. Those are the moments when you shine. Yes. And what I wanted to try to do is give every lady an opportunity to feel special. And that is the most important part of the whole thing, to be adored. And I tried to find it in these fragrance that I brought together in these notes. But it really is important that guys, over the years, I have found that they don't know the right words to say. So I write the lyrics for them to, just say this, my man, right? Well, it also comes down to ladies want to draw the compliment. So if I can get you just to feel that elegance, hopefully I'll set it up for the guy to go, oh my God, what is that you're wearing? That is the key to the whole system.
It's a setup, guys. Listen to what Lionel Richie is saying. He's setting you up for success. You're right, chivalry is not dead. When a woman hears, my gosh, you smell beautiful. Oh, you look amazing. You look, that's what we want to hear. I want to hear that. You're right, and that immediately changes our mood. It makes us feel sensual. It makes us feel amazing. So I think that's what Lionel's doing with these beautiful fragrances, Mr. Richie's doing for us. And I know we're getting ready to sell out of this. There are some questions I've been dying to ask, and I was hoping to spend the whole hour with you. It's not gonna happen, but I have to ask, what is your favorite fragrance memory? Is there like one moment in time where you smelled a fragrance and you're like, there it is?
Yeah, you know what? That happened way back, believe it or not, back in the early 80s. It was not my fragrance, believe it or not. It was a dear friend of mine. In fact, I'll even name drop here for a moment because her fragrance did quite well. On top of that, Elizabeth Taylor was backstage, and she came back to see me at a concert, and she had on this amazing fragrance, and I turned to her and said, Elizabeth, what the heck is that? And she said, oh darling, it's my new fragrance, she said. And of course that fragrance went on to be forever.
Forever, absolutely.
But I remember I just kept that in my notes as if I ever had a fragrance, I would want it to be something that's identifiable like that. I mean, and by the way, it wasn't overbearing. It was just so elegant and so special that that was my first time I ever opened my mouth and had enough guts to tell somebody, I think you smell wonderful. You know, that's not exactly what you want to think about for the first time meeting Elizabeth Taylor, but it just registers in my mind.
See, an elegant woman, beautiful woman, sophisticated and classic, and that's exactly the way you're gonna feel wearing this fragrance. And I have to ask, you did so much philanthropic work for when your grandmother died, and even though she lived into her hundreds, she developed breast cancer. 103. Was there a favorite fragrance?
Had breast cancer when she was, what, I wanna say 78, 77, and